everyone, it is Tanya. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you are new here. Today I'm back with another speed build, and we're building in the world of StrangerVille today. This is actually a build idea that I've had written down for probably a year now, and I've loaded up the game and attempted to do something in this style, and I've just always bulldozed it. So recently I decided, you know what, I'm going to try this over on Twitch, because usually my chat over there makes sure I don't bulldoze things right away anyway. If we have to, we have to, but we try and stick to the idea we're going for and pursue through it, and that's exactly what happened with this build. And basically the original idea I had was I wanted something that looked a little bit more sculptural, like two big boxes like this on a diagonal on top of each other in the middle of the desert with lots of landscaping. And I am so glad that I pursued on this build and kept going, because I think it comes out so nice in the end, and I'm very excited to share it. If you'd like to download this build, it is available on the Sims 4 gallery. You can find it under my EA ID, which is Gryphi, Gryphi, and you'll also be able to find that information in the description down below as well. So I used a lot of tool in this build to go ahead and place a lot of rocks down into the ground and like resize some of the plants and things like that. But I'm using a lot of live edit objects, plants, debug plants. They're debugged specifically for StrangerVille because when StrangerVille first came out, we didn't get any of the plants and rocks and stuff in the surrounding area, which made it really hard to decorate around these homes. So we were all requesting to get the plants and stuff from around this world, especially the Joshua trees. And so they added them in debug, and then not too long after that, we ended up getting an update, which allowed us to have live edit objects for all the worlds, which was so exciting when that first came out. But because of that, the StrangerVille items are in debug, whereas everything else is in live edit objects. A little confusing, but that is how that works. So I'm using a lot of these rock formations around this pool, as well as lots of cacti and succulents, and it ends up being really luscious, and it takes a while to get to that point, but you can kind of see it, the structure here coming together, and the whole layout I was going for. I had so much fun with this build. I'm so happy with how it came out. It ends up having a lot of like outdoor space. It's just a 2-bedroom house, but I was thinking this would be a really good space for your Sims to have like some parties and stuff. There ends up being, of course, the pool outside. There's going to be a hot tub as well, a bar, all sorts of activities, and it's just a really beautiful landscape. I really like the world of StrangerVille. We are getting a new world that has similar rock formations sometime soon with the Horse Ranch expansion that's coming out next month. We're getting Chestnut Ridge. Has the same sort of rock formations, but they are more brown instead of orange. So it'll be a different place to build in anyway. Plus, it seems to have more green areas than this world does. This one's a little bit more dry and desert-y, and of course, it has a lot of interesting stuff going on here with all of the possessed Sims. The StrangerVille storyline is very interesting. I quite like it, but I know it's kind of frustrating to not be able to turn off. Once you complete it, it's kind of like the world goes back to normal, but in a new save file, everyone's possessed and walking around, and it's a little bit weird. But anyway, I decided to add some solar panels on this house, as well as a couple of glass roof pieces, so that we can get some beautiful natural light in here. And this is where I'm going to be adding the hot tub with these loungers by the pool. I just thought this would be a nice, relaxing space for your Sims to enjoy. And I don't know, I don't do a lot of houses where there's like this much exterior decoration, I suppose, like a really fun shaped pool, and it's like built into the rocks. It was just a little something different, and I've been exploring a lot lately with my build style, as well as like what sort of builds I create. So you might have noticed I've been doing a lot of townie houses. I recently posted that community lot for Von Hunt Estate. I've just been playing around a lot with different builds, and I've been really enjoying it. So if you have any ideas of things you would like to see that are a little bit out of the norm here on the channel, although we're kind of getting away from a norm currently, since I've just been having so many ideas for different builds. But feel free to leave any suggestions you have. I've been taking a lot of those lately and having a lot of fun with it. So anyway, over here, I decided to get this like awning over the bar. I scaled it with tool and then like kind of shoved it into the ground to make it a better height. At some point in time, it disappears. I don't really know when that was, but I will re-add it towards the end of the build, so you'll see that. But we're just getting some more landscaping. I'm adding some of the plants that I'm seeing around the world, like these purple flowers, which I think just add so much to this area. And of course, lots of these trees and rocks, and just trying to fill up this lot. This is a pretty big lot. I think it's like a 50 by 50 or 40 by 50. It's the old Penelope lot where the plane crash normally is, where we have like a sim living in a bunker under the plane. It's a really spacious lot, so I thought it was perfect for this house. The house itself isn't that big, but I did imagine having a lot of plants around it and a lot of these rock formations, so I kind of needed a bigger lot. I didn't really want something that was directly on the road, so I thought this was the perfect space for it. You could probably also build this somewhere in Oasis Springs, maybe up like where the land grab house is and a couple of the other lot that's across the street. I'm trying to think who lives across the street. I'm not sure, but that might be a good spot as well. But I think this area was perfect for this. I'm also really curious to see what the lots are going to be like in Chestnut Ridge. I'm hoping we see more this upcoming week. There's supposed to be a live stream on Tuesday that should be talking about horses as well as The Sims 5 and the results of the community voted kit. So I'm interested to see that. I don't know if I'm going to post a video on that live stream or not. I might record my reaction. I have no idea because it's really hard to tell if there's going to be a lot to expect from that or not. So not entirely sure there, but it should be interesting nonetheless. I hope that some of the stuff that I voted for ends up, coming through and being brought into the game for the kits. I voted for the medieval build pack and the goth cast kit, so those are the ones that I'm hoping for, but I would also be fine with the other build kit. I really don't think we need any more rainbow stuff in the game when it comes to casts, and we definitely could use some goth representation, so I'm hoping for that, but I guess we shall see on Tuesday. Let me know what you voted for. I'd be very curious about that. I think I posted a video when that came out. I'm not sure though. Either way, this outside area is really coming together now. I added our mailbox. I think I don't add a trash can till the end of the build, but we're going inside now to figure out the floor plan. I was trying to figure out where to put the staircase because upstairs there is a diagonal portion, so adding staircases can be a little bit finicky. I also had to scale down that fireplace so that it wouldn't be clipping through the ceiling, so that is something you might notice on the interior of this build. It's still clipping a little bit right now, but I do fix that. I also thought I was going to put the kitchen closer to this big slider in the front of the house, but I ended up moving it and putting it closer to the staircase. So that is what we are doing here now. I really like how the inside of this house comes out. It's very open concept and modern, but I still feel like it feels cozy, if that makes sense. And it's pretty minimal in decorations, and I quite enjoyed that. So yeah, this is the layout I end up going with. It's sort of like an L-shaped kitchen with an island in the middle, and there ends up being a little bit more length to this kitchen because I added cabinets around the fridge to make it look a little bit more built in. But I thought that was fine because it still left plenty of space for a dining table. Plus, there's so much dining space outside, and so there's only 2 bedrooms in this house. I imagine there's not normally that many Sims eating here other than when they have get-togethers, so I thought the amount of space we had for a table was plenty. I didn't feel like this house felt too small or like there was too much space to fill out. I felt like everything just kind of fell into place exactly how it needed to, and that's always a nice feeling because I did not plan out what the inside was going to be like at all. I just had an idea for the outside and I hoped that it would all come together, and it did. So I was really happy with that. Speaking of which, this back corner where I put those 2 windows in a corner space, that's going to be the bathroom, the only bathroom in this house. And it ends up having a corner tub, which is not something I do that often. And I just thought it looks so pretty there with the windows facing outside. But we'll be getting to that a little bit later. First, we are decorating the living room, and I used this new couch from the Book Nook kit in this like greeny blue swatch, and I just think it looks so pretty. I really wanted to just incorporate another color other than like the browns and the greens, and I thought that this blue one was so perfect for this space and just makes the space look a little bit less, I don't know, not sterile, because sterile would be mostly like whites. But it just adds a little bit of color to the space, which I enjoyed. I also got this painting from Base Game that really looks like StrangerVille. I thought that made sense for this area, and I ended up putting a little table behind the couch. And I put some books back here as well as this little tray, which I believe I moved the tray to the coffee table. But the books that I ended up putting back here are Base Game books that we recently in an update got new swatches for, which is so exciting. I know I haven't grabbed them yet, but I was so happy about that. For the longest time, they've only had 3 swatches, and the new swatches we got with this are so good. I love the little details on the spines and the color options. It's just so nice to finally have some new swatches for these books, and I'm going to be using them way more often now. I also added the lamp from the Book Nook kit, and I also added this mirror, which is like a standing mirror from City Living. Something about it I just thought was really pretty. And I put a little stool and I believe a plant as well in front of it. Just some simple decorations. And I wanted to use something a little bit different than I typically do. But that's pretty much it for that living space. And then we are heading into the entryway and the kitchen and the dining space. So I'm just getting some curtains over here. I end up using these ones from the Desert Luxe kit, which I feel like just works really nice in any Desert e-build. I love a lot of the items from that kit. That's one of the better ones in my opinion. And then we're just painting on some tiles in the kitchen, getting these same bar stools that I used outside, which are also from the Desert Luxe kit, and getting a range hood over the stovetop. Of course, getting my cutting boards that I put in most builds, and a couple more decorations in here, as well as an oven, since I hadn't added that yet. And it's kind of an important thing for your Sims to have. I'm also going to be swapping out some of the cabinets up here so that I can use this shelving unit from the Cool Kitchen Stuff Pack, which is actually where the counters and cabinets are from. I wanted to use it because it has the same wood swatch, and so I thought it would look quite nice in this space. We're just scaling it a little bit to make it fit a little bit better there, and then I got a little window over the sink and just decorating with a couple more items. I really like this plant from the Paranormal Stuff Pack. I think it looks quite nice there. That little pop of color, and of course a coffee pot in this space as well is nice to have. I've heard a lot of people say that their Sims become obsessed with coffee, and that's been my experience too in the past when I have a coffee machine in my Sims builds, but it's been a while since I've actually played, so I'm curious if that's still a thing. If you have a coffee machine in your kitchen, do your Sims just nonstop want coffee? I remember that being a thing with the ice cream machine too from Cool Kitchen. It's just like they wouldn't stop eating ice cream. They were obsessed with it. It was more important than any of their needs. So I'm very curious if that's still a thing, but anyway, this is the dining area. I didn't know which light I wanted to use at first. I ended up going with one from Tiny Living, but I tried this one at first, which is from the Fitness Stuff Pack. I think it's really pretty. It just didn't really have the exact swatch I wanted. The metals weren't exactly right because it's more of like a copper tone in here, but the kitchen has a lot of more like silver metals. And technically this light also has that same problem, but for some reason it didn't feel as intense with this light, so I thought it was okay. And then over here I'm just trying to figure out a painting. I actually tried quite a few, but I think I cut it out because it took such a long time to figure out what painting to put over here. But I ended up with this one, which I can't remember what it's from currently, but I added a plant and a bread box over here. Kept the decorations pretty simple, but just nice to have something over here. And that should be pretty much it for the dining space and the first floor. We're just gonna get some like shoes and stuff by the front door, make it look like there's a place to put your stuff. Do I get a mirror above that as well? I think I do. Which one though? That is the question. I'm always very indecisive with mirrors. Oh, I used the one from Growing Together, this new one that has like a braided texture around the edges. I think that one's really pretty. So that's what I put there. And then we are heading upstairs to work on this bathroom where I knew I wanted to put a corner tub. And I used this tub from the Fitness Stuff Pack, which I do not remember the last time I used this, but I thought the wood tones on it were perfect for this space. And I absolutely adore how this bathroom came out because it's just a little bit different. Something I've been trying to do this year is improve some of my bathrooms in the game. And I was just really happy with this one because it's not the same size and shape as all of the bathrooms I create. And I was able to use that corner tub. So let me know what you think of this. And if you also struggle with bathrooms, how often do you use corner tubs? Do you think this bathroom came out okay? That's something I'm definitely self-conscious about, is how I feel like most rooms I'm pretty decent at decorating, but bathrooms I really struggle with. So I'd love to hear your input on that. But I love this corner tub. It's so pretty. I would love to have a tub like that in real life, or just any tub that's like big enough to bathe in. I've always lived in an apartment, and apartment tubs, at least where I live, it's like a shower tub combo, but the tub, it shouldn't even be called a tub. It's so like short that you could not bathe in it if you wanted to. You could probably bathe like an infant in it, and I'm able to bathe my dog, but he doesn't have to be like submerged under the water. So, you know, I would just like a nice tub someday. That's a dream of mine is to have a tub. And this corner one is so nice, so that'd be cool. Anyway, this is the upstairs hallway. I just kind of make this an office space. I end up having a bookcase as well as this desk with a computer, and it's pretty simple. Has the same color scheme as the rest of the house, and I love this bookcase I used from the fitness stuff pack. I end up moving it over to the corner. You can just see it off camera. It's kind of a hard one to use, but I think it is such a pretty shape. So I'm always excited when I can make that work in this area. And then I believe I got some more of these books. Yeah, just the new swatches on them make them so much more usable, and they look so nice. Anyway, this is going to be the primary bedroom. I'm using one of my favorite beds in this room. I use it a lot, but I felt like it fit the color scheme perfectly for this house and like the style. So I used this one from Eco Lifestyle. Is that where those bedside tables are from too? I actually don't remember where those are from, but they matched really well. And then I'm using this love seat from the fitness stuff pack. I also used it outside in a different swatch, but I thought that this worked nicely in here. And we got a couple of closets over in the corner as well. Those are some base game closets that were actually created by Peacemaker, I'm pretty sure, back when The Sims did a collab to bring in some CC items to the game officially. So anyway, this is the other bedroom. It's very green. It's a single bed. I don't know if this is exactly for like a kid or, I don't know, a roommate of some sort, but I think this room came out really cute. I love the color scheme in here. And of course, I'm using some items from the Book Nook kit because they're new and exciting still. So I made sure to grab those. We have some of the paintings up there as well as that basket of books and a plant. I got a couple of like smiley face succulents on the dresser as well. That is from the university pack. And then we just have a little desk over here with a tapestry above it. And I love this office chair with the floral prints. It's just so pretty. I feel like this is a pretty open room for who this could be for, but I really like how it came out nonetheless. And I'm overall very proud of this house. Definitely let me know what you think of it. If you enjoyed it, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. You can also subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more. And if you click that bell, it'll turn on notifications so you'll be notified of every single time I upload a new video. Thank you so very much for watching. We're just going to re-add this awning and then we're heading on into screenshots. Please enjoy those, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye, everyone.